hey, who's got a fingernail and called everything? This guy! Oh my god, I got like both of them ish, sort of. Kind of.
So if you get it, it's alright, but if I mention something by accident...
Yeah, you already knew it, I didn't know it. I got most of it, but it's...
Well, no, this is what I said in Avatar. It's like, well, you kind of gave something away that wasn't even that important, but I'm just like, Doug's not an idiot. He can generally figure these things out.
So, well, no, I am an idiot, I just wasn't about this. But even then, I didn't totally get it. I thought actually the airbending being open up after the other elements are taken away, I thought that was clever. I
actually like that, too.
Yeah. Which is why
it's this aspect of, like, well, he cuts off your connection to the element, so I kind of
she
got
wasn't
this impression,
connected to the
She wasn't
air,
connected
so
to air, so all of a sudden you sever that connection, and then you've just got the air left, so all of a sudden it's like, ta-da! Like, I don't know, I thought that was kind of cute.
And again, it sort of made sense because, as they say, sort of her lowest moment, her powers are gone, so it's like using just whatever she knows of the elements there, and that would probably result in airbending. So I like that. For something that's kind of made up, it's like, it did sort of have this logic to it.
You figured it out pretty well.
So this is a good final episode. I really enjoy it. I like all the twists. I love the way Amon goes out. I mean, everything having to do with Amon in this episode was like perfect.
Tell me about the rabbit, Starlock.
Kaboom! Wonderful. Now, in Season 2 it's going to be like, no, I jumped off of the boat just before the explosion happened. They might do something like that.
I don't think he's coming back.
They made it look pretty final.
I'm pretty sure they didn't know if there was going to be a Season 2, so I think they were writing this character off.
The love triangle, I guess, is finished, but... Boy, I guess the daughter sort of gets the shaft here. I mean,
she has
no...
Yeah, she gets Bolin.
Yeah, there you go. It should be the other way around. I like Korra and Bolin much more.
Actually, I do agree with you. I think
I thought it was a much better couple. Look at us. We're talking about how much we hate the love triangle. And we're just like, I like them together better. I
don't hate the love triangle.
Okay, well, I hate the love triangle.
I am indifferent to the love triangle. I've seen better. I've seen worse.
I like the way everything's sort of tied together with Iroh on the plane and it crashing into the mask, knocking the mask off. It's just like nice. Yeah, no, that was really good. So it's a good, strong finish. I like they sort of use. For the most part, it's tying it real together. I don't know what to think about her getting all the powers back. I like that she had to go through something. She had to hit
Deus
the
Ex
lowest.
Korra.
I mean, because Avatar did this too. It was a Deus Ex Machina, essentially.
No, it wasn't.
I mean, it kind of was. I mean, it's... Okay, let me put it this way. The airbending, you could figure out. I didn't, but you could figure out that even if it was taken away, that could work.
No, I'm talking about the first Avatar.
No. Even with the first Avatar, I'm saying, like, well, wait, you can't really... You still can't quite pinpoint, like, this is what's going to happen. No, there's no way to figure it out. Here you could, up until when Aang shows up and gives her back the power. But even then...
I'm not against.
I'm half and half on it.
I'm not against... Okay, there's like a couple different things going on. Because they didn't know they were coming back, maybe they were just like, maybe we need to wrap this up in a nice, tight, happy ending, because we don't know if there's going to be sequels or whatever. There's that. In my opinion, I would also argue, well, this could open yourself up, though, to doing whatever you want with it. Like,
that's sort of what I was seeing. It looked like it was opening up for another season.
I mean, for me, it's not... I mean, let's say they want to give her powers back. You can make an argument. I'm like, if you can communicate with the other avatars and stuff, and this was passed from the space tortoise or whatever to Aang, then, in theory, Aang could pass the ability on to her and unlock her powers. To me, that it's feasible, it's not a Deus Ex Machina. What bugs me about it is that it happened so quickly.
Yeah, and it's like...
Which was part of the criticism I had with the first Avatar, that I liked the idea, I just thought it was executed a little too fast.
Yeah, and same thing
This
here.
This one's even way worse, in my opinion. Because
My powers. Ooh,
Yeah,
hello.
I mean, yeah, you nailed it. That's basically it.
Well, how is that really the lowest
fast.
moment? No, it's like have her go through a journey of her lowest moment. Hell, let her go through the journey and let her come out realizing that maybe she didn't need the power. She still has airbending. That's still something.
There was that's the problem, is there was no lesson learned or earned, really. Like, it needed, if you're gonna do this all in one season, it needed one extra episode where you show her dealing with it and then give her powers back.
Yeah,
but to do it in the last 3 minutes, and it's a great moral. I mean, that's the old Zen Buddhist saying, and you see it in Fight Club too, only when we've lost everything are we free to do anything. But they missed a great opportunity, because what that also means is once you've lost everything, then you're free to do anything. She could have done something that wasn't purely from the ass-kicking Avatar perspective. She could have helped rebuild the city, show people that, I'm only an airbender now, but I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to move on. I'm going to learn.
The same way that guy learned how to do bloodbending without the full moon and take away the power and stuff like that, why couldn't she learn the same ability to get the other forces back? And she could only do it at her lowest moment, and when she tried to bring stuff back up, I'm with you, she didn't really learn anything. She hit the lowest moment, which is great, but even she didn't really know she hit the lowest. But why? How? Huh? And it's, go from there. That's the starting point.
4 episodes of journeying and trying to figure this out.
And this was 4 seconds.
Before you met the turtle. Yeah, like, you got this idea that even though, it was rushed and handled quickly, I felt it was so much better handled in the first Avatar that I was like, okay, it ties together. It was a little rushed, but this one, I think what offends me the most is the whole, go back, Mako, go back because I'm not the Avatar anymore and I just want to be alone. He says, I love you, and she's just like,
yeah, more love triangle bullshit.
And I get in Tenzin's like, she needs to deal with this, she needs to be alone, but what bothers me is, second she gets her powers back, did you notice what happened?
Yeah, I love you too.
I love you too. I'm like, so now that everything's worked out for you, I guess you can go out with Mako.
Yeah,
That really bugged me, and the thing is, it wouldn't have bugged me had you done this over the course of a whole 24-minute episode. I would have been fine.
Or even half an episode.
But when it went that quickly, I was like, wow, it just made her look like a douchebag there. Like, now that I got my powers back.
Well, why couldn't they stop the episode where she, she runs off and she's looking out over the horizon, she's crying, and then maybe she stands up, and maybe Mako comes behind her and is like, what are you going to do? It's like, do you think you'll ever get your powers back? I don't know, but I'm gonna go find out, or something like that. You leave it open for another season, or it could end there. I mean, it'd be a nice open ending.
I would have gone with a Terminator 2 ending. I don't know what the future holds. You know, but I'm gonna find out. Like, hey, had you done that, then
and then this would be like maybe 3 or 4 episodes of the next season or something. Or if not, if it ended there, that'd be okay too. You see, I like how final it could have been. First of all, with her losing all her powers, I was actually leaning towards averagely, but then it's like she still has the airbending. Oh, okay, so she has something. Well, they can still make a season out of that, but she still lost something and she has to adapt. This is a good mix. But then she just gets it back, and now she's going to be... I was saying they sort of throw in the Jesus element of now she's the healer. She's bringing back the power, bringing back the life, which bugs me too, because then these people don't have to adapt. They don't have to adapt to this stuff, and I think that would have been a really good lesson, something really interesting.
You nailed it, and this is the biggest issue I have. What made Toph, and, I hate saying this because I love the creators of this show, but I'm just going to call them out on this. What made Toph such a great character is she is a girl with a disability that learned how to adapt and turned into something amazing.
Turned to the greatest!
Yeah, which gave us Lin Bei Fong. How interesting would it have been if Lin Bei Fong now has to adapt and maybe gets herself wrapped up in the new technology as a way to continue fighting crime?
Yeah, what you could have done with them having the abilities gone. I think that's a great point with Toph, because if anything, having her sight taken away has increased her earthbending.
And you could have done it with Korra as well. You could have done it with Lin. Instead, it just becomes like a... Well, no, everything's okay after all. You didn't have to sit there and deal with this shit. Which is very strange, because these creators are normally so good at that.
Yeah.
That it just... And I don't know if maybe... I mean, I know what it's like in the writing process. We've done projects together where stuff goes wrong. I don't know if they got under the gun here and we're just like... we got to wrap this up quick.
Maybe they
we don't know
saw
what's
it
going
turning out a
on,
different
or
way.
if some focus group was like, this is too depressing. I have no clue what happened. Or maybe that was just their original idea.
Yeah, it could have been maybe
But
they
I don't
really
want to
saw
dump
it
on
as
them,
like...
but they're so good at that to see them kind of do this sort of, wrap it up in a neat little package, happy ending. I was like, wow, you guys sold yourself a little short on that, because you guys have done such great work, and this one it just didn't quite work out.
It's kind of a shame. I mean, the only way I could see it is maybe sort of like... The only thing I can think of is maybe like Polar Express, where it's like he thinks he loses the belt. Okay, spoilers. Everyone's seen that Christmas movie, but where he thinks he loses the belt, and then like at the very end he gets it back. But he still went through that loss, and it really showed that loss. And it's only there, it's sort of when he lost. You felt like he was saying the lowest moment, but there, did you really feel like she was at her lowest moment or whatever? I mean, there was no. Because it was so rushed. I mean, this is the beginning of the lowest moment. And
what bothers me... No, I'll tell you why I don't think it was her lowest moment, or what bothers me about it is the dude confessed his love for her. That's her lowest moment? Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's what would have made it the lowest moment. If he confessed his love and she's like, I know, I can't, and he gets upset, he's like, fine, screw this shit, I'm done, we're over, we're through. So now she has lost absolutely everything. Maybe then I could see it,
but that would have been stupid too. Again, it's the dumb love triangle, but...
And again, it's not, if they want to do that, I'm actually okay. And again, if they want to give her powers back and have her give everybody their powers back, it may not be the best idea, but I'm like, it can work. I just feel it was so rushed. I don't know if that's on Nickelodeon, on them, or just...
Yeah, like, I'm not like...
It was just very, very rushed.
I'm not furious as a show for what it is, for what the ending is. It's more, I'm furious for what it could have been, for what these creators
could have been a great
have done
there,
and could have done. But for what it is, it's your happy ending, and it's like, okay, it doesn't betray everything. No. It's just more, man, what could have been done here.
Yeah. Logically, I don't find fault in it, just like logically I didn't find fault in The Lion Turtle. So it's just more how it's handled and executed, and if The Lion Turtle had a couple issues here and there, this to me has just got a ton.
Yeah, this is like a whole psychiatrist session of issues. But, okay, so we got a few more minutes here. I'll do a quick wrap-up of the show in general. I think, just as a whole, I sort of knew going in it wasn't going to be as good as Avatar, so I wasn't expecting it to be. I like that it's different. I like it went this different route, and these different characters and stuff. I think it comes down to start off really strong, ended for the most part really strong. I don't like the last few minutes, but it still ended really, really strong with the climax and everything, and it came through. I was afraid it wouldn't, but the middle part, like I said, I think sort of with Korra and the main 3 or 4 characters there, I don't think just were strong enough compared to Avatar. But as a family show in general, as a Nickelodeon show still, I think it's good. I still think it's a good show. It could have been stronger, and I know it's not going to be Avatar. But I still like it. It was
why you need to compare it to Avatar.
Because it's the same series.
But it's apples and oranges.
It still takes place in the same world. Okay, it's like comparing Batman and Batman Returns. It is the sequel, and that's fine. You're going to compare it, but again, I don't need it to be as good as Avatar.
To me, it's more like trying to compare the Burton Batmans with the Nolan Batmans.
No, these are the same people. These are the same people,
but it's really stylistically different.
No, but it still matches that world. Still the same world. It's still the continuation, and. But like I said, I'm not expecting it to be I'm not expecting it to be Avatar. In fact, I wanted something different. I'm glad I got something different. As a whole, like I said, it's sort of the middle section where I really started to get out of it. But then it comes back, and I like these issues. I like the direction it went, and I like that it sort of went a more challenging route with the story and with the villain especially. I thought this is much more challenging stuff for kids. I wish the same amount of challenge with the characters, the main characters anyway, with Korra and Mako and stuff, that was in the original Avatar was here. If it was, I think it could have been maybe even on par with Avatar, but for what it is, I thought it was good. I did like the show. The strongest moments were when it began and when it ended.
I thought it was great, so yeah, the love triangle is not the best thing on the planet, but I thought it was really non-intrusive overall, but I've sat through a lot of bad love triangles in animated things, so...
Well, you had to sit through a lot of romantic comedies, too.
Yeah, well, my wife likes romantic comedies, too, so
Yes, he's seen a lot of this shit.
I've seen a lot of this, and
Is she
I'm
gonna marry the rich snob?
Yeah, it doesn't bother me, like... And the thing is, I do agree with you that it's not that Korra's the issue. Mako, I think, is the weak link here.
Yeah, it's sort of that group in general.
That group, Bolin's interesting
not...
as a personality, but that's the thing, when I say the weak link, we're talking about a whole set of good characters overall, and there's nothing bad about Mako. It's just...
No, nothing in this show really
unlike
is
the
terrible.
other show, where some of the weaker characters may have been on the periphery, it's a couple of the central characters, like... I'm just going to say Mako, mostly. I like Sato, I like Sato's daughter, I like Bolin...
You know, and Mako started off interesting. He started off interesting, and then sort of became very bland. But I'm sort of with you. Nothing in the show is terrible.
They're fine characters.
Yeah, nothing
I don't
in
have
the show
an issue
is
with them. It's no, I thought it was a great show. I love the revolution aspect to it. I loved Amon. It's like I was wondering. It was like, man, how are you gonna go from Mark Hamill? Like, how are you gonna trade up on that? I'm like,
Well, no. What I'm wondering,
well played.
Well, I was saying, how are you gonna trade up from Zuko and those villains that are so complex and interesting? Here they did the exact opposite. They covered him in shadow, and you didn't know much about it, and they slowly revealed it. Perfect.
Both Noatak and Tarlok. Speaking of names, if you don't want us to get the names wrong, let's not go with complicated names like Noatak. I'm like, good lord. Actually, speaking of names, okay, Sokka is S-O-K-K-A.
Oh my god.
No, hold on.
You're opening up a can of worms, man.
No, I just realized something.
We really gotta end Korra like this.
Yeah, no, because I just realized something as I was saying that, and that's pronounced Sokka. Korra is spelled K-O-R-R-A. Why aren't we pronouncing it Kara?
I don't know, but
I'm just wondering.
They'll give you shit for it.
They'll say, here's the exact definition and like the Tolkien library of how they say Elvish names and how they should say it in Korra as well.
Oh no,
you see
actually,
they're connected together.
If they had an exact dictionary, this would have been way better. Cause
actually, it would have been a lot easier.
The names would have made sense.
Maybe that's something the makers of the show, the creators, can sell as a dictionary.
I'm just trying to think. I'm like, we technically should.
But I don't think they know half the time. They're like,
because I don't think the creators. They might.
They're probably watching this too, like, guys, lighten up.
I think they just had a book.
We just made it up.
Yeah, I think they just looked up a bunch of Asian names. They're just like, which is fine. I don't care. But then when you get crap for it all the time, I'm like, it's a bunch of names.
But whatever. So there you go. Legend of Korra. Is it really a legend? Isn't it sort of clear that this happened?
I'd go with the Chronicles of Korra.
Yeah, legend. We're getting into names. Why is it called legend? Huh?
Actually, no. It should be like, because they do the newsreel, it should be like the life and times of Korra.
Yes.
On the life and times of Korra.
The person-to-person of Korra. There you go.
Good show.
It is a good show, and I enjoyed it. Again, still miles beyond what a lot of Nickelodeon shows have done, and I'm glad they decided to do...
It's like you're just ripping on Nickelodeon altogether now.
Yeah, no,
wasn't a normal crap Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon's fine.
I know.
But, I mean, they do stuff like SpongeBob, Ren and Stimpy, Goofy, Funny, haha, and it's like, here's stuff that's like, hey, we're gonna knock it into another week.
Okay, let's not go nuts here. I mean, Korra is definitely no SpongeBob.
That's true. She could have used that laugh a little bit more. Could you see her water-bending SpongeBob? Blood-bending SpongeBob, that'd be wonderful. Oh my god.
I think we're done.
I smell the second season. Korra and SpongeBob meet.
Well, they are going to the spirit world, I think, or something.
There you go. Patrick could be a spirit fish. Hire us as writers, man. We got great ideas right here. So, yeah, we're actually ending on that note. So, Legend of Korra meets SpongeBob. Next spinoff.
The Last Spongebender.
I'm hyped.